Coming up on the Suze Orman Show. The parent trap I want you all to avoid. Also, wait, you didn't tell me that at first. Wait, you co-signed a loan for your brother's student loan?
Yes, the loan was $120,000.
And you asked me, can I afford it?
And then we have $19,000 in student loans and $3,000 left on a car loan.
That's a lot. Look at all those. Look at all those lines of what you owe. Hi, everybody. I'm Suze Orman, and you are watching the Suze Orman Show. Tonight, I want to talk to you about the cost of being a parent, especially because it is Father's Day weekend. Now, I understand that you love your children. You love them more than life itself. In fact, when you're a parent, I seem to think that your purpose in life is to take care of your kids. But I just have to start getting you to ask yourselves the question, at what cost? All right, here you are. You're struggling to make ends meet. You're not really putting money away for your own retirement, but yet you call into the Suze Orman Show and you ask me, Suze, how can I save for my children's college education? And again, I ask you, at what cost? At the cost of your own retirement, of your own ability to be able to save for the what-ifs of life, the cost of possibly your own future happiness, because every penny you have is going into this college savings plan because of how expensive college costs are. Or you say to me, Suze, I really need to save for the weddings. I have this beautiful daughter and I want to pay for her wedding, Suze. How do I save for that? And again, I ask you, at what cost? Do you know that I have had parents take out home equity lines of credit from their paid off home to pay for a wedding? And then what happens? The daughter gets married. 3 years later, she's divorced, and you're still paying for that wedding for the next 15 or 20 years. So at what cost? Or your daughter or son or granddaughter or whatever it may be comes to you and says, Granny, Daddy, Mommy, brother, sister, please co-sign for me. Co-sign a car loan, co-sign a student loan. And you say, I love you so much. Of course, I'll do that for you. And again, the question is, but at what cost? At the cost of the possibility of them not being able to afford that payment. And here you are at the time of your life where you're just getting by, or you want every penny to be going for your future. And now that money has to go for their mortgage payment, their student loan payment, their car loan payment. Oh, they're not making a car loan payment. Now the car's repossessed, and now you have to come up with $10,000 or $15,000 to the car loan company, and you don't have that. So the question becomes, at what cost? And if you ask me, it's a very, very large cost. I, more than anybody, would love to see all of you be able to have children where you pay for everything, but where you've paid for it after you have taken care of your own financial needs. You don't have credit card debt, you own a home, you've put at least 20% down, you don't have any car loan debt, you're saving for retirement, you have at least an 8-month emergency fund, everything is going great, your job is secured, and so there's extra money, okay. But if there isn't, I'm just asking you to think about, at what cost is this really worth it to me to do something that I can't afford? That's the question that I want you to ask yourself when you're loving up those kids and they come to you and say, please, that's what I need you to think about. We are going to Arizona. Carmen, what's your question?
Hi, Suze. Well, my 83-year-old mother, against her better judgment, co-signed for a new car for my 22-year-old niece. And unfortunately, 6 months later, my niece lost her job, and eventually the car was repossessed. Now she's refusing to deal with the issue, and my mom is the one who is getting the calls from the car company claiming that she has to pay $10,000 or else they're going to send her to a collection agency. So, of course, now my mother is very upset, doesn't know what to do. Her only source of income is her Social Security, And combined with my dad's Social Security and with a very small pension, it's not enough, or it's barely enough to cover their monthly expenses. So now she's afraid she's not going to be able to make those payments to repay for that car, and she's afraid that they could potentially lose their home.
And what is it her niece or was it your niece?
It's my niece. It's her
your niece.
Granddaughter.
Granddaughter. What does her granddaughter say about this?
Nothing. She's avoiding the situation completely. In fact, at this point in time, isn't even speaking to my mother.
Because that's what's so sad.
Yes.
That's what's so sad. Out of the desire to help somebody that she loved, she now not only has lost money, not only has ruined her credit score, but she's lost communication with her granddaughter. And when I sit here and I say to all of you, don't co-sign alone, it's because it's not just about the amount of money that's at stake. It's about the relationship and when they can't pay it, what it will do to that relationship. Does your mother and father, do they own a home?
Yes.
Do they have a lot of equity in that home?
I don't know. I do know that they have a home equity loan right now.
So they also have a home. They have probably a mortgage and a home equity line of credit.
Well, it's paid off. It is paid off, but they have a home equity loan. I'm not sure how much that is.
That is. So this is what's really sad. Now, it may just be that she's going to have to possibly use some more of that home equity line of credit, believe it or not, to pay off, and maybe you can negotiate the amount of money that you need to pay to this company. So before I did anything, because they'll probably put a lien on her house, they'll probably get that money somehow in the long run. What I would do is I would call the car loan company. I would tell them that the situation isn't good. The only income your mother and father has happens to be, do you know what I mean, their Social Security. And see if you can negotiate that $10,000 down to $3,000, $4,000, some amount of money that maybe all of you can chip in to pay. And then when your mom and your dad pass away, you could get that money paid back. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does, Susie.
Yeah, that's what I would do. But boy, I don't even have words for the granddaughter. I don't even have words for that, whatever that is. I don't have words for that. Let's go to Christine in Pennsylvania. Girlfriend, ask me your question.
Hi, Susie. My brother has been paying his student loan for more than 10 years. His credit score is great, and he is financially responsible. But every time we fill out the application to remove me as the co-signer,
wait, you didn't tell me that at first. Wait, you co-signed a loan for your brother's student loan?
Yes, I know it's a bad thing, but he has a life insurance.
Have you not been watching the Suze Orman Show? Did you not know that before you did that, or did you start watching the Suze Orman Show after you co-signed?
No, I knew about the Suze Orman Show.
So you watch this, and you know especially what I think about student loans. You know what I think about co-signing, and yet you still co-signed?
Because my brother is good and he has a life insurance in case he dies, I pay off the loan.
Yes, and what if he's injured and he can't work and make any money, and now he's not dead, but yet you still owe the money on that loan? Did you think about that?
Well, the issue here is that the company that loaned him the money said after 2 years of him paying, I can be removed. I have to fill out an application, and I can remove.
And you believe them? And you believed that?
Yes.
And so it's been 10 years now, and you now are, and he's been on time, and now you're asking them to refinance or to just take your name off of it and to let him have it. And what are they saying to you?
They keep rejecting it, and they don't give us a reason why.
They don't have to give you a reason why. Listen, girlfriend, they are never going to take your name off of it because they have two people who are responsible now, mainly you more than your brother, and it's a student loan that can't be discharged in bankruptcy. There is absolutely no reason in the world they would ever take your name off of it. Have you tried to just simply, how much money are we talking about here?
The loan was $120,000. Now he owes 90 something. He has 20 more years to go.
All right. So at $90,000, good luck getting anybody who will want to take on that loan with just him unless he is making a lot of money. I have to tell you, I don't think there's a lot you can do about it. If you can try to have him not refinance it, but try to get another type of loan to pay this off. Does he own any property? Does he own anything that he can get $90,000 from?
No.
Girlfriend.
No, but I only co-signed $40,000.
All right, well, $40,000. Oh, just $40,000. Girlfriend, because you didn't listen to me, and because he's a good guy, and you wanted to help him out, guess what? For the next 20 years, enjoy that it was only a $40,000 loan that you co-signed for because you're going to be on it for the next 20 years. Let's go to Matt in Pennsylvania. Ask me your question.
Hi, Suze. I'm such a huge fan. Thank you so much for taking my call.
Thank you, sir. What can I do for you?
Yes. I've recently separated from my partner of 8 years, and we're not sure where to begin dividing up the home that we purchased together. I've moved closer to my job, and he wants to keep the house. At first, he didn't want any financial assistance from me, but now he's asking for more money than I've been giving. I know he's taking on a lot of financial responsibility here, but I have my new expenses, too. So I'm hesitant to kind of give him more money since he doesn't really want to deal with the cost of refinancing and taking me off the mortgage. Mm-hmm. So, Suze, how do we come to equitable terms here and get me off this home?
Matt, how old are you right now?
32.
32. How old is he?
He's 33.
33. Does he economically or financially speaking, can he afford to keep that home, really?
Yes. I mean, it could be a stretch, but he could do it, yes.
He could do it. Because if you give him more money, which you don't want to do, you are allowing him then to keep an asset that he cannot afford. The truth of the matter is, because if he could afford it, he wouldn't need more money from you. So the best thing that you could do for your financial situation is sell the house. Interest rates are low. The markets are still good. Get rid of the house. Now that you've gotten rid of the house and it's sold, your name's off the mortgage, the two of you can part ways, create your own lives, and just go on from there. But if you continue to give him money to keep something that he cannot afford, he's never going to want to take your name off the mortgage, boyfriend, or anything else. So just don't do it. You came about, what about my kids? Are my kids going to be okay? It is not just about the kids. And later, when wanting something, ask me, can I afford it? Have you figured out how much that's going to cost you every single month to maintain?
No, not really.
I didn't think you did. We're back on this Dad's Day weekend with a pop-off facing financial hurdles ×3. Chris joins us from Washington, D.C. He lives in Northern Virginia. Chris is 47 and married to his wife, Kelly, who is 45. Chris works in sales for a major wireless company. Kelly was an attorney, but became a stay-at-home mom when they had their children. And they had all of them at once, triplets, 3 girls, Grace, Ellie, and Sarah. And you know what that means, 3 of everything, as Chris points out.
Hi, Suze. I'm Chris, and I'm married to Kelly. I wanted to give you and your audience an idea of what it was like to have triplets. It's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of 3s. We have our daughters, of course, Grace, Ellie, and Sarah, and their kittens, Mittens, Max, and Tinkerbell. Almost everything we have comes in 3s, whether it's shoes, boots, slippers, bikes, scooters, car seats, bows, and even banks. In general, Suze, our life is certainly 3 times as crazy, but it's more than 3 times the fun.
Triplets? You have triplets, my dear Chris? Welcome
Suze,
to the
I
Suze
do.
Orman Show. Chris, I just have to ask, I saw that they had 3 piggy banks. And is one of them a better saver than the other, or do they all kind of save the same?
Suze, you nailed it. Yes, they are absolutely different in their savings. One, she saves everything. And so to be honest with you, I think I need to talk to her about hey, you need to pay yourself first and spend a little. And then I've got another one that's absolutely instant gratification. And I've got the third, and she's in the middle of the two of those.
So, Chris, tell me what you need me to fix tonight.
Well, Susie, what's going on is, as you mentioned, I'm 47 years old, and I'm looking 10 to 15 years down the road, and I've got 3 college tuitions that's coming up. Possibly I've got 3 weddings, and all during the time that I'm looking to retire. And so I'm looking for any type of guidance you might have in terms of being able to hit these hurdles that are coming up 10 to 15 years down the road.
So, you know, here's the thing, Chris, when you're looking at your children and you happen to be older, you have to make the decision, really. Is it all going to go for these girls? Or am I going to hold back and give them some so that I know I'm okay? Because in 10 years from now, when they're 18, you are going to be 57. In 20 years, they're going to be 28, and now you're going to be 67. And there has to be decisions. Now, I'm looking at your finances, and here's what we have going on, really. You have $750,000 in retirement. You're putting about $1,700 a month towards your own retirement. By the way, we're not showing that, but everybody, that's what he's doing. You have $60,000 in emergency funds, $105,000 in investments. $75,000 of that is for the girls' college education. You have homes. You have 2 with a total value of about $780,000, but you have mortgage debt. You own the second house outright, but on your primary house, you still owe about $200,000 on that. So you have about a net worth of $1.5 million. You also have about $8,900 of take-home income, but you have about $8,900 of monthly expenses. So you are maxed out, sir. In 10 years from now, your kids will each have about $66,000 for their college education. The question is this: are you okay with that? Do you want to have more money for them, or are you okay having a conversation? Kids, this is all you're going to get.
I think it's going to have to be that this is what we have for you. But I want to do as much as I can, and I know both Kelly and I, we want to do as much as we can for the girls because obviously they're our lives. But in the same sense, we want to keep everything balanced.
Because I have to tell you, I think the girls will be fine. I am worried, however, about you and Kelly. Because if you want to retire, which you said you want to retire in about 15 years, is that correct? That's what I read in the producer's notes.
I would love to retire about 62, but I also know that 67 may be out there.
All right, so even if you had to work, and I want you to listen closely to this now, you had to work doing exactly what you're doing right now till you are 67. Your house is paid for. But the truth of the matter is, as you get older, you start to have more expenses, believe it or not, more medical. Once you retire, you're going to have to pay for things on your own. So I'm going to keep you at a goal of $8,000 a month. Do you know, even if you work till you are 67, you are looking at having maybe $2.2 million in your retirement account, but after taxes and everything, that's going to give you about $5,700 a month of after-tax income. Did you know that?
No, but I like the number.
You like the number, but the number is not enough to meet an $8,000 a month goal. So here's what I just want to tell you. You came about, what about my kids? Are my kids going to be okay? And I wanted you to come on the show because everybody who is watching, it is not just about the kids. It's about you, Mommy. It's about you, Daddy. It's about you, parents. Are you worried enough about yourself? And I'm here to tell you, I wanted you to come on the show and say, Susie, am I doing everything okay? And you're not. You're totally underinsured. You have a wife who doesn't work, 3 kids, and you have $1 million of insurance. If something happens to you, $1 million is going to give them maybe $40,000 a year of income. You are so far underinsured, it's not even funny. You have a second home that's totally paid for. It is costing you $800 a month to keep that. If I were you, I would be selling that home right now. I would be investing the $800 into something for my own growth. I would be taking the $200,000 or whatever it is that I netted from that house. I would be investing that, and that would be worth $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 when you come to retire, Chris. That gives you more money. So you came on the show to ask about the girls. The girls are fine. Now that you're on the show, do you understand, even though it looks like you're doing great, you're not saving enough for your own retirement, boyfriend. You're not really taking care of your family. What are you thinking?
Susie, that's exactly why I came on the show, because right now I'm 15 years out from it, and this is the time where I can make some adjustments and things like that. So that's precisely why I came on the show.
I want you to love your future as much as you love the girls. Okay, boyfriend?
Thanks, Susie.
Up next, you can't afford to miss. Can I afford it?
Me and my husband just got married last July and weren't able to go on a honeymoon due to work. But now we want to plan one, but we don't want to overextend ourselves.
And Can I Afford It Junior. Peyton, is $499 a lot of money to you?
Yes, a little bit.
What do you want to buy?
Backyard swim spa, Caribbean honeymoon for $5,200.
Xbox One gaming system.
Welcome back, everybody, to the most exciting part of the Suze Orman Show. And why is it exciting? This is because I get to tell you when you want to buy something, if you can afford it or not. Let's see what we have going for us right now. Leslie, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie.
Hi, Leslie.
I want to build a backyard swim spa. That's a pool with a jacuzzi kind of built into one end. I live here in Texas, and the summers here get so hot and dry. It would be wonderful to be able to come home and relax by the pool, have family and friends over, and maybe even get a little exercise.
Yeah. You know, pools are interesting. You know, it's not just $30,000 for a backyard and a spa and the pool inside there. Have you figured out how much that's going to cost you every single month to maintain? Do you have any idea what the cost of water to fill that thing is, to keep that thing, whether it's, you know, clean and so it's got enough chlorine in it or whatever you're going to use? Have you figured that all out?
No, not really.
I didn't think you did. So, girlfriend, you show me the money.
All right. Well, my income each month is $10,675.
Yeah.
That includes my take-home pay, a monthly payment I get from a house I sold last year. I hold the mortgage on that, and some child support.
All right, wait, I just have to ask, before you go on, how long is that loan payment going to go on for?
The mortgage I hold?
Yeah.
Well, there's a balloon payment in 4 years. So
all right, and the child support, how long does that go on for?
2 more years.
2 more years. Okay, go for it. Keep going.
My expenses are $6,377 a month.
Yep.
The only debt I have is a $70,000 home equity loan. And in savings, I have $70,000 liquid. I have $18,000 in investments and $212,000 in a retirement account.
And how are you going to pay for this?
Well, I was going to take a little bit from my savings and then either add to my HELOC or get financing through the pool company. I anticipate being able to pay it off in 6 to 9 months.
Yeah, because of all the extra money that you have coming in now from your income versus whatever, correct?
Right.
Great. You are denied.
Oh, it's going to be a hot, dry summer.
God, it most certainly is. You're 53 years of age. You don't have enough money, really, in retirement. We're going to get yourself in a situation where a lot of income is going to stop that you're used to getting now, even though you get a balloon. Who knows what will happen at that time? Don't do it, girlfriend. You can't afford it. Gracie, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. How are you?
Great, Gracie. What do you want to buy?
We would like to take our family on a trip to Italy this summer. My in-laws are going as well, and we're hoping we could join them.
And $12,000. I went to Italy for 2 weeks, because I was going to say, I went to Italy and I didn't spend $12,000. You are really going to Italy. How many people in your family?
Well, it's 4 of us, and unfortunately we have to fly in July, so that's really expensive. That's almost half that budget.
And then the rest we figure hotels and food and some shopping, hopefully.
And you are thinking about the euro versus the dollar and all those things, correct?
Yes, we are.
All right, girlfriend, show me the money.
All right. Our take-home is $17,608, and that includes our take-home, and we have two rental properties. Our expenses are $15,135 a month.
Just stop there. I just have to say this. Everybody was going, God, she's got $17,000 of income per month. Do you understand it, people? But she's also got $15,000 of expenses. Do you understand? Because they're like, oh. Anyway, go on.
Right. So yes, that's our rental. And then for debt, we have $194,000 and $317,000. Both are on 30-year fixed mortgages. Also, we have a $62,000 7-year arm and a $154,000 5-year arm. And then we have $19,000 in student loans and $3,000 left on a car loan.
That's a lot. Look at all those. Look at all those lines of what you owe. But that's why you pay $15,000 a month. Go on. Keep going.
Right. And then, so in savings, we have $544,000 liquid. We have $89,000 in investments. $840,000 in retirement, and we have $34,000 so far in 529 plans for the girls.
Yeah, and I just have to see this again. You said, how much do you have in liquid?
We have $154,000.
All right, because you said there for a second, $554,000. I went, whoa, all right, how are you going to pay for this?
We would use our liquid.
Liquid, and that would bring you down some. But you know, $15,000 a month in expenses. I want you to have at least 8 months of it, so now you're bringing it down. I know you want to go to Italy. I know this is something that you want, but you saw all those lines. So again, I'll just make this easy for you. You have been approved. Yeah, because again, 35 years of age, and look how much money you have in retirement. You have liquid. I don't know what you're doing, girlfriend, but you're doing it right. Renee, what do you want to buy?
Hi, Susie. I want to go on a Caribbean honeymoon for $5,200. That's all inclusive. Me and my husband just got married last July and weren't able to go on a honeymoon due to work. But now we want to plan one, but we don't want to overextend ourselves.
Where in the Caribbean do you want to go?
Either the Bahamas or Jamaica.
I'm telling you, I love it in the Bahamas, but that's just me. Renee, show me the money.
Okay, so our take-home is $7,900 a month combined. Our expenses are $45.61, and that includes $1,400 a month for rent. The only debt we have is $13,000 on a car loan, and in savings we have about $110,000 in liquid and $39,000 in retirement.
You are 27 years of age. You are 27 years of age. How, at the age of 27, did you manage to save $110,000 liquid?
Well, that is combined with me and my husband, and we do live conservatively.
So nobody gave it to you. You did this on your own.
Yes.
And how are you going to pay for this?
We plan on doing cash.
And cash. And so I'm looking at this. You are 27 years of age. You know, the truth of the matter is you could take $13,000 from your liquid, get rid of your car loan that's giving you almost 6% in interest payments. Do you see what I mean? And really put that money to work for you, but you are approved because you have, at your age, you are doing wonderful. Okay, now time for Can I Afford It Junior. This is where somebody under the age of 16 calls in, tells me what it is that they want to buy, and I either approve or deny them. Peyton, what do you want to buy, sir?
Hello, Susie. I would like to buy an Xbox One gaming system.
I see, and it's only $499, Peyton. Is $499 a lot of money to you?
Yes, a little bit.
A little, so
it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but it's only a little bit a lot of money. It's like, I don't know, I look at $499 today and I think that's still a lot of money to buy anything with it. But all right, that's not what the show is about. Have you been watching the show for a long time, Peyton?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, how many years?
I've been watching it for about a year now.
About a year, all right. So you know how this works then. Peyton, show me the money.
Okay, I make $25 a month for doing chores, I have no expenses, no debt. I have $200 in my piggy bank, $2,811 in liquid, $9,300 in my college plan, and $315 in gift cards.
So how are you going to pay
I
for
need
this?
your approval.
I know you want my approval. I'm not sure you need my approval, but you sure want it. Peyton,
Yes.
I have a $500 expense here. Where are you going to get $500 from all the things that I see, the piggy bank, the liquid, the gift cards? How do you plan to pay for this?
I am going to take $300 out of my gift cards, and then take the $200 out of my piggy bank.
Got it. So you are going to be paying, you're going to use 100% of what's in your piggy bank. But the truth of the matter is you have $2,800 liquid. So you are going to be spending less than 10% of what you have to purchase this, correct?
Yes.
Will I approve or deny, Peyton, everybody? What will I do? I want you to join the conversation on Twitter or my Facebook page, and I'll be giving my final verdict at the end of the show. Want to be part of the Can I Afford It segment? All you have to do is go to my website, SuzeOrman.com, and you'll find the information that you need to know there to come and play with me right here. Next, I tackle trending topics in Ask Suze.
We can currently afford our house, but it is underwater, so if we sold it, we'd be looking at about a $25,000 loss.
Here's what you need to decide. And later, it's Suze 911, help for your money emergency.
She is getting ready to retire in the next few months, and she told me that after meeting with her financial advisor, she wants to put a chunk of her retirement money into an annuity.
Welcome back, everybody. This is where the magic happens, the control room at CNBC headquarters. So many ways for you to be part of the show. Take a look at your screen. You can send in an email. You can join me on Facebook. Or if you send in a tweet and put hashtag AskSuze, it comes to us right here. And if we choose it, it will be on the air. Let's see what's trending right now. We have at Cole C. Baker. I am 15. I love that. I am 15 with over $2,000 in my bank account, and I direct deposit $200 a month. How should I begin building my financial future? Well, Cole C. Baker, it seems to me you've already started to build your financial future. $200 a month, you're direct depositing it. That means somebody obviously is paying you that money, and rather than paying you that money, they're sending it directly to your bank account. Why not open up a Roth IRA? You're probably working, like I just said. Put that money in a Roth, invest it every single month, and by the time you're old, you're like me, you could have millions of dollars. Are you kidding me? You're doing great. Let's go to webcam, everybody. We are going to Kara in Ohio. Girlfriend, ask me your question.
Hi, Suze. Thank you for taking my call. I am a federal employee, so I'm on essentially a fixed income unless I apply for a new job in a new city. I'm interested in doing that, but I'm also a little afraid to, because if a job was offered, I would pretty much have to take it, and I'm not sure we can afford to move. We can currently afford our house, but it is underwater, so if we sold it, we'd be looking at about a $25,000 loss, which we don't have. So my question is, do we look at a foreclosure or a short sale and ruin our credit, or should we just stay put and possibly put any future raises on hold until we can't afford to move?
Yeah, you know, Kara, it's an interesting question now because the laws have changed from a few years ago, which was when you had your primary residency and you did a short sale and or a foreclosure, that $25,000 difference would have just really been forgiven. Now it will be added to your taxes as ordinary income. It's now not just forgiven. So you have to take that into consideration. So the real question is, do you even have the money to be able to pay the taxes on that if you do this? Or will that totally negate the fact that you're also going to have expenses to move? Right? Do you see what I'm saying? So it's more complicated. I have a question for you. Can that house be rented out?
Not very easily, because the rents in this area go for about what we're paying for the mortgage, so we wouldn't be able to charge extra for maintenance.
But it is possible that you could rent it out, still with the raise, cover the little bit of maintenance that it may maintain, may cost you, and then not take that $25,000 hit on your taxes. So here's what you need to decide. Do you really want to move? Do you really want to do that, or do you want to stay in Ohio? Do you just want to figure out what to do with your life? Because the future is in your hands. Do I make sense to you?
Yes.
And when I say that to you, which way do you think you're going to go?
I would like to move.
Like to move, then girlfriend, go ahead and do it. But if I were you, I would be renting out the place and waiting for real estate to come back up to hopefully be able to sell it and not have to take that loss and ruin your credit. Now, let's go back to the studio, and here's what's coming up next. Need help right now? It's Suze 911.
My red flags were set off when she said that she would have guaranteed income and a guaranteed rate of return on her investment.
What type of an annuity is it?
She didn't exactly say what it was.
And later, my final verdict for Peyton. Is this a need or a want, Peyton?
This is a want.
Everybody's so fast today, aren't they? They're like these, they make me look slow. Hi, Susie. And I go, what did she just say? Welcome back, everybody, to the Suze Orman Show. It's time for Suze 911, where help for your money emergency is just a phone call away. Let's activate the call wall categories and find out what my next caller needs immediate help with. A financial advisor's caller, what is your name and what is your money emergency? Financial advisors, I bet you need help. What do you need?
Hi, Susie. This is Mike from Pennsylvania. My money emergency question is about my mom and her financial advisor. She is getting ready to retire in the next few months, and she told me that after meeting with her financial advisor, she wants to put a chunk of her retirement money into an annuity where she already has money in her Roth IRA and 401k from work, not also to mention her Social Security. My red flags were set off when she said that she would have a guaranteed income and a guaranteed rate of return on her investment. I don't want her to see her risk any of her money unnecessarily. How do I help her figure out if this is the right product for her or if she should run from this guy?
Yeah. So, Mike, how long has she been dealing with this financial advisor?
For about 3 or 4 years now.
3 or 4 years. So that really is not a long enough, in my opinion anyway, period of time to see is the advisor in depth at all kinds of markets and making sure that everything is safe and sound. The annuity that the advisor wants to put her in, what type of an annuity is it?
She didn't exactly say what it was, but she said that she would have a 20-year term annuity and she would get a guaranteed rate of return on her money and get a guaranteed amount of money paid to her for that 20 years.
And how old is your mother?
She is 68.
At 68, so in 20 years this will go on. And in her mind, in 20 years she'll be 88 and maybe not even be here anymore. So all she cares about is 20 years. But the first thing, Mike, you have to explain to Mama, like my mama lived till she was 97. We have to know that Mom's money will last for as long as she is alive. Now, what's sad about it is that when you have an annuity, sometimes after they've stopped making payments, there's nothing to leave to the kids. If I were you, I would go with her, sit down with this financial advisor and her, and have him explain everything to you. You need to look at the illustrations that he's going to give you, not at the projected income, but the guaranteed income at all times. You then need to decide what rate of return is my mother getting. So for instance, if she has $200,000 in there and she's getting $1,000 a month, every month, let's just say for the rest of her life. So that's a $12,000 a month, or $12,000 a year. You would divide 12,000 by 200,000 to decide at what percent interest is she really getting on her money. And you would then know, is that a good way to go or not? But I can't tell you it's definitely not a good way to go without knowing more about the type of an annuity she's going into, because some annuities can be good. The majority of them, though, immediate annuities that give you income and things like that, I would stay away from in most cases. And if you have a money emergency and need my help, just go to my website, SuzeOrman.com, and hit Suze 911. My final verdict for Peyton is next. And you really want to spend $499 on a want versus a need. Do I have that right?
Yes.
Welcome back to the Can I Afford It? Final verdict. Earlier, 11-year-old Peyton asked me if he could afford to spend $499 on an Xbox One. Is $499 a lot of money to you?
Yes, a little bit.
Peyton, are you out there?
Yes, I am still
All
here.
right. Now, Peyton, before I give you my final verdict, let's just remind everyone what you had going on. You make $25 a month doing chores. You don't have any expenses. You don't have any debt. You have $200 in your piggy bank, $2,811 liquid, $9,300 in a 529 plan, and $315 in gift cards. And you want to use the gift cards and less than 10% of your total savings, that's liquid, to pay for it. Peyton, anything else I need to know before I give you my final verdict?
Nothing else. I just really want this.
You really want this. Have you not learned in the year that you've been watching the Suze Orman Show that want is not a good word to use? You should be using need. Yeah. Is this a need or a want, Peyton?
This is a want.
This is a want, and you really want to spend $499 on a want versus a need. Do I have that right?
Yeah.
You do. All right. When I look at your money and everything you have going and everything, boyfriend, you have been approved. And mainly because
Thank you.
are, oh, you're welcome. And mainly because you are spending less than 10% of what you have in savings on something that you want. If you were spending a penny more than that, I doubt highly that I would have approved you. Do you understand that, young man?
Yes.
All right, sir, go and have a good time. And everybody out there, they learn at a young age. They start to understand. Can you just see it with Peyton? They start to understand the difference between needs and wants. You just need to continue to educate them at home after they turn off the Suze Orman Show every Saturday night. But here's what I need you to do. I need you to come back Saturday night after Saturday night so that you can learn everything, so you can teach everybody, including yourself, what you need to know. So until next week, there's only one thing that I want you to remember when it comes to your money, and it is this: people first, then money, then things. Now you stay safe. Bye-bye.